Hi, I'm Carlos. I am an artist from Spain. I have been working in art all my life. I study architecture. I have been working also as an architect for many years in Spain, in Singapore, in England. And now I am back in Spain. I worked like an artist always. I always produce art. That was what I wanted to be. I studied architecture and I am very happy about it because it's a creative also, it's a very creative career also. It's a very interesting and you learn a lot. I use it as a foundation to create my art. So I think a lot of things about the structures, about textures when I work with art, and also I use a lot of architectural materials, construction materials. I realized that I could be full-time artist and to be my life work because sometimes in life I think that at a point that you think, what I am doing, where I'm going. I think that is quite common. Everybody think in that way, no? For sometimes you do both things, you know, you want to have the functional work, the one that gives you the money, no? And then the other one you treat it more like a hobby. But when you start to see that what you create is something that the people can see and appreciate, you can think, this is probably my purpose in life. Work like an artist, create these beautiful pieces. And also, for me personally, we are very drawn towards security, to feel safe. But when you jump and you try to follow your passion, and it's quite complicated, but once you do it, I think that for a few years you can be very confused and even suffering because you don't really know what you are doing. But after a while you decide, you can see that that is your purpose in life, no matter how many bad moments you have, that is who you are, and that in some way make you happier. The most difficult thing to become a full-time artist is to see how you go to pay the bills. That is the first step. How I go to continue having my life, how I go to pay for things that I need, or even for things that I don't need but I would like to do. And for me, the reply to that question is like, it's going to be difficult. That things that you like to have, that travel that you like to, that trip that you like to do, probably you cannot do it at the beginning, but you will have another path that will give you a through experience in life, if I can say that, which is like to find yourself, that kind of moment in life that you think, I need to do something with my life that really is meaningful for me, that I need to find my path. I see myself, it's like sometimes you need to think in yourself when you are like in your 70s, 80s, 90s, 100 years. You know, you need to think, what I did with my life. So I remember one day I was sitting by myself looking some of my paintings when I was still in Singapore. And I was looking in the middle of the night, my artwork, and I was thinking, this is what I want to do. This is who I am. I love many things, but did this art give me a path, give me a reason to be alive? Not everybody can do it. I think that it's very important to be surrounded by people that think like you and encourage you to do it. That is important. That is one of the things, no? Because if the environment around you is so negative about it and nobody show you the path, it's quite difficult by yourself, no? So in my case, having my partner, a big supportive, and also good friends, financial support, of course. Probably during a time, you need to do a little bit two things. Probably your full-time job is to your passion, in my case is art, but you need to do another things to start to earn some money using your skills. From the beginning of my life, I always construct things. I remember when I was a kid, I grew up by the Atlantic Oceans in the coast, in the south of Spain. And one of my favorite things to do was to build cabanas, places to be, and play with branches, with natural materials that I found, things that I found from work sites that they throw, and build something. That was my passion. That's what I like it. So probably that passion for building is what drove me to be an architect, to study architecture. I missed during the career a little bit a more creative freedom during architecture, no? And I am speaking about regulations, codes, etc., etc. That is something that actually can when you are starting to work as an architect professionally. During the degree, you can fantasize a lot. Something that is quite beautiful in architecture is how you show your ideas. They teach you how to express your ideas, through drawings. To produce the drawings, you need to learn proportions, compositions, color, from a point of view of arts and from a point of view of technical point of view, no? That is one of the things that I love it. And in some way, I understand art like that. You bring something to life from your head, something an idea that you have, no? You transform an idea that you have in an object. And that path is very interesting. I think that when you start to work as a full-time artist, you start to feel the evolution in your work, because obviously the artwork is the final object that you produce after all that process, but during that process happens a lot of things. It's like a path in the forest that you follow, and then you see different paths, and then you need to think which one I should follow, no? Depending on where you want to get. And during the creative process happen a lot of things, a lot of opportunities, and you have choices during that time, no? How I can do this. Sometimes you find you want to create some texture, but you find another one. You explore some materials, you push the boundaries of that materials, no? Material that probably is done for construction or maybe have been created for another purpose, but you use in a different way. And that creates a texture, that creates a tension in the material that you are using that is interesting from a plastic point of view, or to express what you want to express. I think for me, it's more about my thoughts, what I can see in my imagination. I have a visual mind, and I imagine many things. Most of the time, the things that I imagine are like in movement and are related mostly with natural processes or natural movements, the wind, the sea, the sun, the moon, the clouds, the rain. That inspire me, and how all that elements interact with matter, with mountains, with rocks, with sand, with trees, with us. I am interested in how things change and how is the process of changing. And I love the lines of the ocean. You can see the water passing, you can see the ocean. I think that is very interesting.